I've got 4 farthings here. They're all from 1874, so let's have a closer look at them. This is the worst condition, 1874, and you can see the H mint mark. All the farthings were made at the Heaton Works in Birmingham that year. That's the H for Heaton. 3,584,000 were minted. There it is in Icknield Street, Birmingham. The front of the building still exists and is Grade 2 listed. There's a more recent view of it. That's Icknield Street in Birmingham. Next one, slightly better condition. See Victoria there? Still a bit worn though. Next one is this. Very fine condition, probably not quite. But the best one I've got is this. And I would say that was in very fine condition. Slightly better than very fine. These are worth about £1 each at the bottom here. This one about £3, and you'd probably get £5 to £6 for something in that condition. But that's not what we're looking for. Let me show you what you need to look out for. Okay, here's one. This is the reverse, just showing this to show you that it's an 1874H. Pretty poor condition, but what we need to do is look at the other side, the obverse. Okay, there we are. Now, if we look up where it says DG, if I zoom in on the G, you can see, well, there's something wrong. Now, this is what is known as a G over G. Some call it a sideways G, some call it a G over sideways G. But it's where the letter G has been minted, it's not correct, and then another one has been minted over the top. Now, if we come down to the other G, down here, we can see it's the same, but in this quality coin, it's not as easily recognisable. But this actual coin, even in this condition, sold in December 2021 for £140. So even if you've got this farthing in pretty poor condition, it's still going to be worth a bit of money. So have a look, see if you've got one. Here's another one, 1874H. You can see clearly at the bottom. There's a few scratches and dents on this one. And there's the obverse, a few scratches on Victoria's face. This was deemed to be in about fine condition, so not quite fine condition. And if I zoom in on the G again up there, you can see a definite error. Now, some people say the G was minted the wrong way round to start with, and another G was minted over the top to put the error right, but I don't think that's what happened. If we have a look in this Sphinx catalogue, a couple of years old now, and if we go up there, because there it says 1874H, both G's over sideways G. There's some prices there, look, fine condition £125, very fine £350, £900 for an extremely fine. Got no price for an uncirculated one though. I don't think it was a normal G minted over the top of a sideways G. I agree with Michael J. Freeman. He says in his Bronze Coinage of Great Britain book, the error probably occurred because the letters G on the obverse were initially weakly punched onto the die and thus required a second punch-in. This appeared to have happened quite frequently throughout the young head coinage, but only in this instance was the re-punch-in blundered. Yeah, I think so as well. I think the G underneath was very weakly minted and they tried to punch another one over the top and messed it up completely. Let's have a look at the other G. Not quite as obvious on this one again, but you can still see it's an error. Now, this actual coin sold in March 2017 for £200. And as I said, it was deemed about fine condition. Here's another one, 1874H. Of course, we need to look at the obverse. And this one is a much nicer condition. Zoom in there, you can see there's a few marks around the Queen's portrait, but not too bad. Now, let's have a look at the G on this one. There we are. Now, I think you can clearly see that originally the G was correct. It was the correct way round, but weakly struck. And then it was the second punch-in that was the wrong way round. And now, if I go down to the G in reg, you can see on this one, it's clearly a weak strike underneath and the wrong way round G on top. You will see this coin listed as G over sideways G, but we can see clearly there that is not the case. Originally, it was a weak G and a wrong way round G punched over the top. This is the best image I could find of a sold coin, and this was said to be in a fine stroke very fine condition, so not quite very fine. This actual coin sold in December 2019 for £240. I can't find a better image than this, but I have found some estimated prices. For very fine condition, £350. Extremely fine condition, as we've just seen in the Spinks catalogue, £900. And in uncirculated condition, if any exist in uncirculated condition, well over £1,000. As I said, that is the highest grade image I could find. If you know where I can find a higher grade image anywhere on the internet, please let me know. I'd love to have a look. And also let me know if you've got an 1874H with a rotated G's. Unfortunately, none of my 1874H's have the rotated G, but check yours. You never know. You may have one already and didn't know it. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. Please click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.